Good afternoon, amigas, welcome. I want to take this opportunity in thanking the Father for being with us. And we're going to be celebrating Mass, so please, let's sit down, and I would like to thank the Father for being here with us.
We're going to sing as duas primeiras estrofes. A 13 de maio, na cova da Ia, apareceu o brilho da Virgem Maria. Ave, ave, ave Maria, ave, ave, ave. I confess to Almighty God and to you, my brothers and sisters, that I have greatly sinned in my thoughts, in my words, in what I have done, through my fault, through my most grievous fault. Therefore I ask the Blessed Mary, the Virgin, all the angels and saints, and you, my brothers and sisters, to pray for me to the Lord our God. And may Almighty God have mercy on us, forgive us our sins, and bring us to everlasting life. Lord, have mercy. Christ, have mercy. Lord, have mercy.
Leitura do livro de Isaías. São dizia: o Senhor abandonou-me, o Senhor esqueceu-se de mim. Poderá a mulher esquecer a criança que amamenta e não ter compaixão do filho, das suas intendências? Mas ainda que ela se esqueça, e eu não te esquecerei. Palavra do Senhor.
Salmo responsorial. Refrão. Só em Deus descansa o minha alma.
Só em Deus descansa a minha alma.
Só em Deus descansa a minha alma. Dele vem a salvação. Ele é meu refúgio e salvação. Minha fortaleza. Jamais será abalhado. Refrão. Só em Deus descansa a minha alma. Minha alma, só em Deus descansa. Dele vem a minha esperança. Ele é o meu refúgio e salvação. Minha fortaleza. Jamais será abalado. Refrão. Só em Deus descansa a minha alma. Em Deus está a minha salvação e a minha glória. O meu abrigo, o meu refúgio está em Deus. Povo de Deus, em todo o tempo, ponde nele a vossa confiança. Desfoguei em sua presença os vossos corações. Refrão. Só em Deus descansa a minha alma.
behalf of the community of friends, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all our very distinguished guests that we got with us today. What we're going to do, I just want to do the welcoming, a brief welcoming, and the house orders, and then we're going to start, get the starters going, and then I will carry on with my speech. I think I would like to start by welcoming our friend and amigos, the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Dr. Zweleni. Welcome and thank you for gracing us with your presence today. We've also got a list of apologies which I'm going to read, and that is to start with Mr. Edward Zuma, which is the President's son, which has given us an apology. The Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Nkobeni, which has been called to an urgent meeting, so she won't be able to attend. The Mayor of Camperdown has also tendered apologies. I believe her daughter gave birth to a baby today, so she can't make it. Mr. Rob Phillips, the Managing Director of R.S.A, KwaZulu-Natal. Then I would like to welcome the KZN Police Senior Management and all the senior officers. I think we can all feel very safe today because we're all here around us today, so don't worry about your purse and your car today. Okay, like I said, what I think we're going to do, we're going to get the starters going. In the meantime, I will just, there you go. John van der Merwe, welcome. As usual. So while we're going to get the starter, let me just give you a brief rundown to tell you firstly why we are here today. This morning we had a church service, and Father the Son is right here by us, and it was to, can we say, commemorate the death or celebrate the passing away of a few friends, community of friends, over the last 2 years or so. So we had a church service this morning to start with, and then of course we are celebrating the 10th anniversary of the community of friends, and that's taking place today. And then we've got a little surprise party, which I will keep as a surprise until much later on. But just for the sake of those who don't know what the community of friends is all about, I would just like to give you a brief rundown exactly of what it is and how it started. It was the idea of, I think it was John, about 10 years ago, who got a group of us together and said there was a need to get the community together whereby you could sit down as friends to start with and meet as like we're doing now, having lunch and supper and whatever, but also discuss issues that worried us, because at that stage obviously it was close to the New South Africa and all the white guys were worried what's going to happen to us. And we said, look, let's just sit down and talk about all these issues, and then we will take it forward on your behalf. And that's how it started. We then organized lunches. There was a lunch on every last Sunday of the month. And what happens when, to raise funds, we give people fines for all sorts of stupid reasons, for wearing a sparse shirt or for being late or whatever it is. And that money then was used for various reasons. Over the years, we've assisted, I think 3 of them, but I can recall of, 3 people from a community that approached us and were in financial need, and we used the funds to help those people. At the last meeting that we had, there was also a call that there is a school, a needy school, that is looking for funds, and that's our next project that we want to do, is to use the fund to assist that poor school. Because we also believe that as much as we got concerns in the way forward, in the future of this country, to sit back and complain and do nothing won't assist us. And I think if we look around today, of all the friends that we got around us, if we use them properly, I'm sure we'll get the right answers. Now, over the years, I can recall there is right in front of me Mr. Spiriguala, who was the ex-mayor of Pietermaritzburg. You will recall, sir, that many, many years ago, you organized the first function, a Portuguese function, and there was a meeting that took place at the Amigos. And it was through the intervention of the mayor at that stage that we got that correct. And then subsequent to that, there were many, many other meetings that took place. There was a special gallop at the office of the Premier, Parkside, that was organized by the Premier. And all that is only through our intervention with all those distinguished guests. Now, amongst our friends is also the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal. As a matter of fact, he is an Amigos. And for those of you who had the opportunity to attend the speech that took place last week, if you haven't done so, there are copies available, which we want to give to you. But just this morning going through it, I realized that in his speech, he sort of touched on what we are doing right here today. Because right through, he speaks about the vision and plans to make this a beautiful province. Now to do that, obviously we all got to get involved to make it a beautiful province. And right through his speech, I've underlined a few things here. He acknowledges the challenges that's ahead of us, but he mentions quite a few times in his speech, the Premier, that KwaZulu-Natal needs to work together to take South Africa forward. And that's mentioned at least 3 times in his speech. And I think this is what we would like to be part of as a committee of friends. We would like to assist the Premier and his team to give you our concerns to start with, and also our thoughts on how we believe that we could put your plan together and achieve what you want to achieve. So I think this is exactly what the Committee of Friends is. Further down, I think the Premier also speaks about somewhere where he wants the community to get involved in community-based program. And I think this is what we can do. That's what we can assist as a community-based and take our concerns, our queries, through the channel that we have to the right authorities and get to ensure that the Premier and his cabinet, the plans that he have for this country is achieved. So, Amigos, Premier, I would like to firstly tell you that as a committee of friends, we would like to tell you that you got our full support for the plan of action that you got for this province. And also we'd like to tell you that our assistance is there. If you ever need our assistance, in whichever way you is, please call on us and we would like to assist you. We are going to start with the starters now and some music, and then, or should we call the next speaker while we're waiting for the starter? Is not too happy with us because that's a surprise we sprang on him this morning. But I'm sure he's going to be up to the task. And this is Mr. Raul Cantal, who is the president of the Portuguese club in Durban.
Good morning, everyone. Or boa tarde, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to really mention our dignitary, Honorable Premier KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you very much for being with us, and thank you all the distinguished guests. I have the privilege of being asked to say a few words on behalf of the Portuguese community. I know that was given to me a bit late. I didn't have time to prepare, but I'd like to just mention that history tells us that hundreds of years ago, our Portuguese white men arrived in these shores. And I think we are proud, our community is very proud of hundreds of years later, we are still, we are very happy to know that we, over the centuries, have been looked after. Now that we didn't get much involved in politics, now that we are not very much involved in politics, but our experience tells us over the centuries that we immigrate, that we have been immigrating all over the world. I think every country in the world will have some of our Portuguese community, and I think we have learned over the years, perhaps not to get involved in politics, but to respect the country, respect the law of the country, and respect the government of the day. This is my view, that we, as what you can call immigrants, I think we have played a great part in helping, developing, and contributing to many countries in the world. And South Africa is not an exception. I would say that we are very proud of our contribution to the economy. We've been very much involved on all sorts of economy, from industry, commerce, construction, and so on and so forth. So we feel that we are very happy, excuse me, we are, as a community, we feel very, very happy in South Africa. I feel, on behalf of our community, I feel that we are very optimistic to have a government that accepts all of us, all races without an exception, and make a peaceful country that we live on. Our community are grateful to all the government. We are grateful to our Premier. He has proved to be an excellent Minister of Finance. He's proving to be an excellent Premier, and I just hope that you will grow from here and perhaps bring more like you into our government, so we can make a better place for all of us. So, on behalf of the Portuguese community, I would thank you so much for all the consideration and the stability that you brought us, all upon us, and I wish you all the very best for the future. Thank you so much.
All right, we picked up the starters right now. I will just say that from our work side of it, I was very upset when the Premier was moved from his portfolio of MEC for Health. Yeah, but Mr. Premier. Because the health department was much better. In any case, look, we're going to have starters right now, and then we'll carry the speech after that. Thank you very much.
Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, Lieutenant General Ngobane, R.S.A. Welcome. If you can recall earlier on, we mentioned to you that there was a special surprise. Well, the surprise is firstly that we've got with us the MEC for Transport, Safety and Liaison. He's right here with us. Welcome, sir, and welcome to the party. The reason that he's here, he's been here for quite a while, but he's been hiding in the car because he wanted to spring a surprise on somebody. And we're going to do that now. We're going to call him to the front, please, sir, if you don't mind, to the front. And the President of the Amigos, Mr. John De Jesus.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I hope you are enjoying yourselves because you deserve it. It's a very important and great occasion for that afternoon. I am called by this culprit, who I suppose is working and orchestrating on the instructions of this culprit in organized crime, so that General Muvendi, look at this culprit. I've just been informed that it's an occasion for the Premier to have his birthday party. Happy birthday, Mr. Premier. It's a very exciting event. I am never on this one, I could not escape it. I really couldn't escape it. Ladies and gentlemen, our Premier was born in the month of February, but the friends here decided that they would want him to get away from this humdrum of life, of politics, to the food and this kind of applause that you're giving, and a different type of people and a different type of thinking. And we really appreciate it. On behalf of government, on behalf of the African National Congress and its alliance partners, we are very excited that there are such people who could think of something big as this one. It's a very nice plot, but please don't plot the other way around. Because I won't be part of you. But it's very exciting because, truly speaking, the Premier does deserve something of this sort. There's so many people out there who have noticed his humbleness, who have noticed his ability to interact with people, meaning he's one of the most approachable individuals that we could ever have in this province. For that to be, for us, a #1 citizen is really something we need to be proud of. And in that instance, we also, from government and the ANC, want to share with you that when you deal with this man, you never know. You think he's just in charge of your province only. He is not. Nationally, he is in demand. Almost everywhere where he's been, people have just clamored to get his wisdom. We believe that that's because of, firstly, his humbleness, his approachability, but importantly, his razor-sharp intellect. You're dealing with a very intelligent person. KwaZulu-Natal was very lucky that at some stage we were given this type of a person in the form of our Premier. There are very rare people of this caliber. He has grown up in the struggle for freedom, obviously, like all young boys and girls who in their time detested the oppression that was meted against them. He's one of those. But he also chose a very important profession of keeping us healthy. Now, he chose this responsibility solely, we think, because he loved the people. But I don't think he ever knew that he will be in charge of the lives of so many South Africans, in particular so many KwaZulu-Natal people. I don't think he ever thought that would ever happen. But today, he is bestowed with that responsibility to be in charge of all of us. My life, your life, and the life of our children, and our grandchildren. But he has been able, in the just 1 year, 1.5 years that he has been in the helm, he's been able to show us which direction he wants to go. His programs of government are clearly programs that have to deal with the good of the people. There is nothing that has been done that is not directed to the good of the people. But I want to share with you his passion, nation building. His passion is nation building. He would want to see the people of this province unite and be an example in the whole of South Africa, you will notice that on days like Heritage Days, when we as government have our programs, he insists on a different format, that all national groupings that are within the province must come there and with their cultures, with their food, with their dresses, with their everything. It's part of his passion of nation building. It is therefore befitting that he has been given this honor of this occasion today by those who planned it. And we would want to say to all of you, you really are visionaries in your own way. You have done it to another visionary, because we're dealing with a visionary here. It will add value, I believe, to his thinking, but it will add value to his pleasure of seeing South Africans get together in this format, because that is what he's lived for. He struggled for that, he's lived for it, but now he's seeing it in practice, and he's seeing it done to him, rather than him doing it to you, which is the occasion that he indulges in all the time. When there are these heritage days, he indulges in getting you to come together, but you have brought him together to yourselves at this time round. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a very interesting occasion, it's a very nice occasion. We would wish you great success in it. It seems like successful. There are very rare occasions when the house is so full with no chairs to sit. Therefore, it is successful. But we would want it to be successful more with the spirit that you take with you. And that is the spirit of the unity of this nation. The spirit of the unity of the people of KwaZulu-Natal, under the leadership of the Premier. Present Premier have been passionate on that. And I hope that in the next few days, after today, you will also be, as citizens, having experienced this, you will be ambassadors of national unity as you go out there to promote this idea of national unity and of people seeing each other as people instead of seeing each other in terms of their color, in terms of where they come from, their ancestors come from. We don't want that. One South Africans who live in South Africa to be South Africans who live in South Africa, whether they are got a crooked nose or a long one or a short one or hair that is twisted or hair that is straight, doesn't matter. As long as they are born in South Africa, they must just be South Africans. And as long as they live in KwaZulu-Natal, they must just be KwaZulu-Natal citizens under the leadership of our Premier. Therefore, Mr. Premier, we are very excited on your behalf. We really think that you've earned it. People don't just do it anytime, anyhow. They do it because they think that people deserve it. All of these people you see here, I'm certain, came only because it was you. If it was somebody else, I don't think you would have got all of them. Not in that manner. It was only because it's you. I came only because it's you. You know, I wouldn't have left that process. I left it together with you because it was you and nobody else. So, Premier, we think that we wish you long life. We wish that whatever you believe in, you know, in South Africa we are very liberal. If you believe in God, you believe in your ancestors, if you believe in anything else, we hope whatever you believe in will help you to grow and to be old enough to reach the ages of the likes of Nelson Mandela, because those are the people after whom you have taken your cue with your humbleness. That's the humility that has been displayed by some very great leaders before you, and we wish you to be as great as those leaders as well. As for today, ungelolude kabazela amavubo kakwabayitanda sengathi ungakhula nje ube njalo uzibambe lo msebenzi kuze kufike ithuba la uthi nawo ayisuphonsi intambo uyipensele omunye. Hopefully by that time you will have produced somebody else, and I'm certain with your caliber it's possible that you will produce somebody else. So the Premier, we would like to say happy birthday. You have said it before, but on behalf of this congregation here, happy birthday again.
Right, I can promise you that the Premier is never lost for words. Premier, we're going to ask you to please come. Premier, on the community of friends, it doesn't happen to all the Amigos, but like we said earlier on, I think you are a special friend to the Amigos, especially for what you've done for the Portuguese community. And it is for that reason that you're getting special treatment today. I'm going to ask our president of the Amigos to say a few words, and then there's do something for you.
Premier, I must really thank you for being with us for May. We really appreciate part of the family, and I must say, our Premier has really been excellent to our community. We've had community members that have needed help, and we call on the Premier, and the Premier has always been there for us. You know, there was business people in Johannesburg, just to give you a few, business people in Johannesburg that had problems. President Jacob Zuma was then deputy president, and I spoke to our Premier, and our Premier said, no, let's meet with the community, let's see what's their concerns, and let's help them in whichever way we can. And it was incredible, because our Premier met the business people in Johannesburg with the deputy president, and everything that was promised to the community was honoured. So, Premier, there's much more that we can say, because from 1994, we've celebrated the National Day of Portugal in South Africa. We've hoisted our flag. We're proud. We really, we must thank the government of the day, we must thank the Premier. The Premier has made various arrangements with the different mayors for us to celebrate our National Day. And it's a small token of appreciation for what the Premier has done for the community at large. So Emma, no, May and the Premier, the humble people, it's very nice to have friends like the Premier, I must really say. He's always there for any member of the community. You know, when we speak to staff, we speak to people, the Premier will be walking through the mall and he will be talking to everybody, people that he knows. He's humble, he's there with the community. So Premier, I just hope you and Mom May keep that up. We really appreciate having you. There's a small token of appreciation from the community of friends. I know you weren't expecting anything. It's here.
Thank you very much, Mr. John D. Jesus, the main conspirator. My colleague, Provincial Minister for Transport, Community Safety and Liaison, General Obeni, and your husband, Mr. Obeni, and the Deputy Commissioner General Julian and other senior commanders of the police force, and the retired General General van der Merwe, the dear lady, and the president of the Portuguese Society, friends, ladies and gentlemen, boa amigos. I hope it's not too late. Thank you very much for your kind invitation. I always enjoy coming to share an afternoon with the community of friends. It's been going on for a while, to sit with friends and just relax. And sometimes the last year it was even more enjoyable. There was lots of dancing going on and the stage was open and we were running around looking at the different dance groups and we enjoyed it. But let me say, ladies and gentlemen, I have actually been taken by a huge surprise. When it was announced that there were going to be surprises, little did I know that this gentleman was actually referring to me as such. But you know, I've always had a lot of hope for Africa. But as soon as my most senior provincial minister is part of a plot, it tells you that Africa is still in trouble. Now, my wife was very nice this morning, telling me how we're going to be bringing along the grandchild and so on, and so I was made to talk to her in the morning. And I didn't quite realize that there was a plot associated. Of course, she knew that if the granddaughter is going to be here, I'm very much likely to jump out from where I was and make sure I am here. And my sister, no, the Jesus, she looked so innocent around the whole thing. But I want to say thank you very much. You know what we need as South Africans is just to sit together and just be ourselves. Enjoy together, talk together, talk about the good things that happen to us, talk about the difficult things that we're going through in life, share it as South Africans, because we all one nation. It's very, very important for us to understand that. I said to one gentleman, we were talking the other day, and I was talking to the CEO of a company, and we were talking, and then I was saying to him, it has taken us almost 15, 16 years to get used to the fact that we are actually one people. But the sooner we realize that, the better for the country. Now, there is no one who's not involved in politics. Oh, by the way, Mr. President, it's not true that the Portuguese have stayed out of politics. They were the first ones. And they are so forceful, we couldn't shake their influence away. Today, we've never been this province and this country has never been colonized by Portuguese, but we keep the name that we got. Now, that's one very special thing about our Portuguese connection, that the name of the province still endures. It's part of the defining feature of our very diverse community. And if you walk around, during the World Cup, a few people asked me about this name. They were very interested. What about this name? And of course, that's our inheritance. It's our heritage. And of course, whatever happened, it has never really been defined outside our definition as the people of this province. And so I think that's a very important contribution. But I think what's important also for us is that we need to acknowledge the fact that the whole past had a lot of conflict. But we also need to acknowledge the fact that we've put that behind. And where we are now, we're trying to forge a different nation, a different future. And one of the defining features of that particular nation is that it's diverse. It's formed on the basis of diversity. So you should find people who came from different parts of the world living happily with those who came from another side of the world. And that the issue of where their ancestors would have come from is important for historical reasons, but it does not change the status of the individuals as members of our society. I believe my great-grandfathers could have come from somewhere in Central Africa. I've got a lot more in common with those who share this land with me today than those who my father, my great-grandfather, would have come from. And I think that's what we need to acknowledge. And therefore, it's important for us to know that this new democratic dispensation is created on the basis of a different set of values. The values of equality, respecting everybody. The Constitution has got rights that apply to everyone and are protected by the courts. So as you walk around, you've got the same rights like any other person. And at the end of the day, what is important is that we are South Africans. But it is not impossible for us to be able to look at those different features that define us. That's why we've got so many languages. That's why you've got such a diversity of cultures. And my colleague is correct, when we have our Freedom Day or Human Rights Day, we always try and say, let's get all the communities together. And sometimes when we're doing a float, and let's put up the flags, whatever the flag that your great-grandfather would have come from, that's fine. And in the process, look at the dress code, look at the food, look at the different things. And as people walk around, they begin to say, but what is this? Then they begin to learn about you and about your culture and so on. And this goes on. Nothing, you see, the way the system of apartheid created a sense of differences amongst us, you would have thought that they were actually accurate when they drew the line. It's actually not even possible. If you came on the African community, there's huge diversity, languages, regions, cultures, and so on. But it does not mean that people can't live together. But if you go further, even in this province, if you listen to people speak the same Zulu language, you might actually pick up that this one comes from that part. The way we dance, at different types of Zulu dances, you can actually say, no, this one comes from that region, this one. Even if you see all the Zulus carrying their shields and so on. But you look at them, you will actually find that this type shield comes from that side. That one comes from that side. So there will always be variations. Rather than seeing ourselves as being hard differences, we should be seeing them as variations. This is what creates the taste. It was creates the flavor of one nation that has got different component that makes it even more interesting. Because when we sit here, we start asking, I was asking, what does this mean? And somebody would tell me, it means this. I mean, the young lady there was telling us, no, that one is Menino. All right, so we get talking about that, but for me it's interesting. You see, now I then start comparing. What does it mean? What does it mean? And so on. But because we need to know about each other's background, about each other's culture, about each other's language, that is how people begin to respect each other. If I know something about you because you're my friend, then I'll respect others who have got the same background because I have a friend who's got the same kind of situation. So the point which one wants to make is that if we want to see the South Africa going forward, we need to hold each other's hands, learn about the next person, find out about where they've come from, find out about what they do, because out of that, you are able to, when you come across the people that you don't understand much about, some of this helps you to be able to build the bridges across. And so for us as the government, we have said that the issue of nation building becomes a very important issue. It's important because it's one of the intangibles that you will not be able to point at, but it's actually what will make the economy of this province grow. The economy of this country will grow because we have the sense of understanding each other, respecting each other. And because of that, there's going to be peace, there will be stability. And that is what the basis on which you have economic stability and growth. So for your contribution to make an impact, it must be an environment where there is tolerance and understanding. A lot of countries that are actually breaking up, lots of fighting, bloodshed and so on, it's because they've not been able to find this solution where people can tolerate each other, understand each other and so on. So this is what we're trying to look at as a solution for KwaZulu-Natal. That we must have people who understand each other, who will believe that if we were able to put together all our contributions, we'll create a much better province that will make this country a much better place. The weight of this province is very heavy on this country in a lot of areas. On poverty, this province is one of those that are worst, and therefore if we have got a problem that we can solve together, we'll be taking the country forward. When we deal with issues of crime, the numbers of people in this province are such that if we are able to reduce it here, this country will look even much better. And so if people in this province are actually seen to be, living more peacefully, more tolerance and so on, it basically means that you can actually make your contribution. So wherever you are, whatever you do is not just for yourself, it's for the whole community. It's very, very important. You might be running your own business, but your business is service to community. And that's very, very important. Lots of you can teach other people how you come to be where you are, and that's going to make a lot more people grow as small business people. And very, very important. And so, whatever you can do to the next person is actually going to help us to take the province forward. And from where we stand, we're always saying is that it's important for each and every one of us, when we walk around, we need to be holding our heads high. We South Africans, and second to no one. And that's very, very important. We South Africans, second to no one, what a contribution to make. We're talking about now the issue of expansion of new projects that are coming in the country, in the province. Talking about the possibility of expanding this port. That whole new thing about a dugout port in the new in the old Durban site. The minimum you will need to build that thing is about 50 billion rand on today's rand value terms. And it's going to be a program that will last a long period, probably a couple of decades, to get it to its maximum potential. Once that happens, on the other side, the whole question of manufacturing of cars means that those who want to do supplies of components can come and set nearby, and then two things happen. One, that the volumes that are produced can go much higher because everything is nearby, but also it means that once you've got a new port in that area, you're going to have to move all the vehicles quicker outside instead of all the vehicles going through the CBD. The change is Durban, it's going to change Durban. And once you do that, you've got to now start looking at the whole, with those volumes, you can't keep all those containers here. Now the question of containers in this corridor of Durban, whether it's Catering, whether it's Ladysmith or whether it's Harrismith, that whole chain would need to be actually changed. And to change all that basically means that we're actually lifting the economy. And the primary thing about lifting the economy is to make sure that we can actually solve the problem of unemployment and poverty. Numbers of people are dying, TB, HIV is all around poverty. These are the things that you have a contribution to make, because you got particular. I mean, I didn't realize that as the president of the Portuguese Society speaking, is in the maritime industry, is in the shipping industry. Now suddenly the things that someone else is doing something about, someone else has been thinking about for a long time. And you can make a contribution, come together, think about what can we do to make this a better province, a better country. These are the things that I think are very, very important for us as the people of KwaZulu-Natal. And so when we stand here, we make a contribution, because whatever we will do to this province is going to make it a better province. And therefore, when we meet and sit like this, it's not just a party, which of course I'm sure we'll all enjoy, but just to be able to create a situation where more frequently our people in this province are sitting together and enjoying and sharing. It's a lot more important, because we've come from a history of very terrible violence. We're happy that it's gone, but we need to help each other to try and make sure that it never comes back again. We've also come from a past of divisions. We need to make sure that again it doesn't happen into the future. Our children must know that they are brothers, they are sisters, there are variations in the terms of cultures, language and everything, but going forward, we're building one nation. Thank you very much for the surprise, to all the co-conspirators, and thanks for the presence. Thank you very much.
Just to mention, the Premier talked about the good things that happened. Yesterday, good things happened to me.
Is actually a very good friend. We had a very good friend of ours that passed away, Mr. Basil Metropolis, and I was very surprised. Proteus was there with the family, he mourned with the family, and I must say, Proteus, we're really proud to have you as a member of the Community of Friends, an honorary member, and we hope that you'll join us at our lunch.
Good afternoon, everybody. And I think when we talk about racism, I can talk probably 2 hours or more. But I think, as the Premier said, we all need to know and understand one another and be able to share certain things. That was my relationship with racism. Thanks very much.
Mr. Sipiwe Gwala. Mr. Gwala.
Mr. Sipiwe Gwala was the mayor of Pietermaritzburg, and he did the first lunch for the Portuguese community, hoisted our flag, and we really need to thank him at the city hall. Yeah, we must really thank him.
Good day, everybody. R.S.A. No, I'm really surprised. You know? I didn't expect that. I was expecting just that I'll have a nice plate, which I'm enjoying now. I didn't know that it's extra. Really, what we're experiencing today is like a dream. And we are happy for the Premier, our father here, our mother, Dr. Mashifo Mkize, the leadership, Baba T.W. Nkulu, generals, the previous general, Father Merv, the general, hey, already yes, with the bodyguard, So thank you very much. I was really surprised. I'm going to hang it in my bedroom. In my office. Thank you very much.
Brigadier Gwala, you know, when the community in the rural areas have problems and really need help, they always go to Brigadier Gwala. He's always there to assist the community, the poorer community. And we've known him for years. And I must say, being cluster chair, being involved with the SAP, we really appreciate the good work that he's done, and we hope that he keeps it up.
Major General Makuta, is that correct?
Major General Makuta is legal services in our province. He's in charge of legal services in KwaZulu-Natal.
I'm really taken by surprise, and I do not have much to say except to say that I appreciate this very, very much. I'm so excited, and all has been said.
Major General, Bachelor of Arts, BA in Ghana.
General Santana is one of the provincial deputy commissioners. Has always been there with the community, plays a huge role in our province. So we'd really like to thank him. We hope that he joins us in future for lunches, not to plot, but to enjoy himself.
I think I must just say Nyabonga because they've said it all.
Major General Paulson.
We're actually giving this to Major General Jula. He's also one of the Deputy Provincial Commissioners. We want to thank him for being with us. We'd like him to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jesus. Thank you to the community and everyone else. I appreciate this so much. I did not think that I was going to deserve anything. Thank you so much.
Lieutenant General Ngobeni.
I think this is really something that I need to say. It's the first lady provincial commissioner that we've had in KwaZulu-Natal. And under her leadership with the deputy generals, we're very proud to give her this. We hope that she keeps the good work with her colleagues. We're very proud of her.
Thank you, Mr. DJs. This is really mine. God works in miracles. When you at least expected nothing, then you receive something. I'm not going to say much, but let me start by taking this opportunity to thank Mr. Jesus and the Portuguese community for organizing this outstanding event that is celebrating the birthday of the Premier. Maybe to say to our Premier, Dr. Mkhize, I think that we should have also given him the title of saying the celebrant. We always talk about the celebrants, but today we have only one celebrant. The good lady, our first lady, also Dr. Mashibu Mkhize, all the dignitaries that are here. Maybe firstly, Premier. From the police side, we want to really wish you a happy birthday. In a sense that, you know, for so many years, since I've been in the province for the past 5 years, I've learned nothing else but the good governance in this province. And every time when there is a good governance in the province, one can only, you know, look into who's providing leadership. And one has realized that it's only our Premier that has given proper and good leadership and guidance in this province. Recently, so as the national management of the police, we were having a meeting here in Mzamba. And amongst the other things, we were being asked as provinces, what good practices does the police have? Premier, I was boldly bragging at our national management forum when they asked us to say, what is it that we are doing in the province of KwaZulu-Natal that is making actually crime to drop. I said we had a very good leadership in the province. Number two is that we've got the provincial government that is so committed in helping the police in fighting crime under the leadership of our Premier, as well as under the leadership of our MEC. I have then alluded to all the programs that we are having in the province, particularly the partnerships that has been formed by our MEC, including various programs, the Operation Fasela and the likes. Now, I feel very honored to be here today to be celebrating the birthday of the Premier who is actually making the province, to shine. I don't care Premier who says what, I don't care MEC who says what, but all the other provinces, they know that the province of KwaZulu-Natal is doing everything well. In fact, I think we are the champions. Recently, the National Commissioner has even indicated to me that the province of KwaZulu-Natal, they want to come and learn from us. They want to learn from the police. They want to learn from the community of safety and liaison to say, what is it that we are doing? We're doing good because we've got a leader that is giving us direction. He is always decisive. He will always tell you, Mamunya, ABCD must happen. And if you are not doing it, we can't expect our Premier to be this kind of a very nice guy, even when things has to happen. Thank you, Premier, for all the leadership, and thank you for the guidance, and thank you for having all this partnership, because we're doing this. Yes, we are in the South African Police Service, but we are based in KwaZulu-Natal, and we will always make sure with my management in the province that KwaZulu-Natal, as far as policing, we are the tops. Thank you so much, and thank you for the gift.
Mr. Becky Nzimande. Becky Nzimande has been working with the Premier for years, and we must say he's excellent. Whatever he does, he actually makes a point that it's done correctly. So we're really proud to have you, and I'm sure you're going to be joining us for lunches, and welcome as a member of the Community of Friends. Mr. Roel Kenters is the president of the Portuguese community. I'm talking about the Portuguese Club of Durban. And I must say one thing, he's always been there for every community member. And we're really proud. As an old person, he's there, he's concerned about the community at large. He goes out of his way. And there's a lot of things that we've actually done together in this province. But I want to mention at least two. One, there was someone that used to help the church, one of the ladies that used to clean, Mrs. Ngobo. And what actually happened, her kid needed an operation. And what happened, we had a meeting as a community of friends, and Mr. Kenters and myself said, look, let the kid go and have the operation, we'll pay for it, and then we'll collect funding from the community, which we did, and we started the fund. And I must thank him. Besides that, when the council was to close down, what Mr. Kenters did, he got members of the community, and we were very disturbed because the council closing down in our province, we've got the biggest harbour, and it was a concern for the community because to go and get their passports, passports and all documents in Durban was just not fair. And he went out of his way, offered these premises for 2 years at a no cost, just to keep the council going in KwaZulu-Natal. And we must thank him. So us as Community of Friends, we've given him, is a member of the Community of Friends of the province, and is always welcome at our lunch.
Thank you. I don't think I deserve such a big compliment. I'm just one of the Portuguese people, one of the Portuguese persons. I love everyone. I love my community. I love all the communities in general. I do what I can. Believe me that many times I get a lot of enemies for what I am and for what I do. But I'm totally convinced that we're not really going into a sort of argument and present my case. I do study it, and I think I'm right most of the times, or at least I believe that I'm right. So what I do is really not for capital gain or personal gain. I do it for all the community and from our. Thank you so much.
Next one is for Father dos Santos. Father dos Santos. Father dos Santos is a priest that just came from overseas. He's part of our community. He's done a lot visiting the members of the community at home, and I think it's always nice to bring the communities together, especially with prayer, and we'd like to thank him. We're glad to have him here. We're making him an honorary member so that he'll join us more often.
The next one is our MEC, Mr. Valenkudu.
I think, it's very hard to talk about our MEC. Our MEC used to be in Parliament as the Deputy Speaker and then Speaker, and now our MEC for Safety and Security. I say our because being a CPF member, I'm part of the structure. But I want to say, the MEC, we really appreciate the work that you've been doing with the community, with the stations, always been there, and with General Kubeni. At the moment, we're very proud because we're number 2 in the country after Limpopo. So it's total workmanship by the leadership of our province. And I know you're responsible, and we're really happy to have you as an MEC and very proud of you. Would you like to say? You don't want to say anything?
Well, thank you very much to the community of friends and everybody else that participated in this, but also thank you for the partnership that we have always enjoyed with John and those he works with in this area as the cluster chair. It's been very useful. And thank you, General, for making us proud because it's all your work in reality. And the Premier, obviously. Thank you very much, Mr. Premier. Thanks a lot. I want to appeal that you release me. Not because I don't want to be part of the occasion, but I do have my real work that I need to go and attend to, which I spoke to the Premier about. It's still outstanding. I have to go and attend to it. So this was just a detour. So please don't think I'm looking down upon this activity when I now take leave. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm actually going to ask, seeing that our MEC is leaving us, if we wouldn't mind standing and allowing our MEC to leave us. Amig Brett.
First leader of a province, Dr. Mikeze.
It's very hard to speak about the First Lady of the province. The First Lady is always been there with her community. She's humble and always respects the community, is there to assist the community in whichever way it's needed. And I must say, mate, with the Premier, you people are really a nice couple. You're always together. You're part of our family. We know you, and we're really happy to have you, and we're honored to make you a member, and which is member number 2 of the community of friends.
Thank you so much. I would like to greet John and the program director, the president of the Portuguese community, and all other dignitaries. And I just want to say that thank you to the plotters,
they have succeeded to do what I've failed to do for years. We've never, my husband, I don't know how many surprise birthdays they've done for me, my friends and him, but I've failed to plot against him. And I'm happy that this has succeeded even without my help. Thank you so much for that. And I really want to appreciate the Portuguese community. I've been part of their groupings and I've enjoyed it. And the assistance that you always give, John. Thank you so much.
And last but not least, our Premier of KwaZulu-Natal and Amigos, Dr. Zweleni.
The Premier's, like I said, the Premier's done a lot for the community that I'm sure a lot of members of the community don't know. He's always been there for the community, and you know, at one stage, talking about it, they wanted to change the name of KwaZulu-Natal, and it was going to be called the Kingdom of the Zulu Nation. And I remember it was debated in Parliament, and I must say, I thank the leadership, I thank His Majesty the King, because His Majesty the King also said he's got a very close relationship with the Portuguese community, and it was so nice that they kept KwaZulu-Natal. Natal was when Vasco da Gama came past the Durban harbour. It was Christmas Day, and that's where it got its name as Natal. And we're proud, we've been part of the community, and we want to say to our Premier, we've really enjoyed, you know, being part of your family, our friends. We know that you've always been there to assist all communities. You know, you've always got the communities at heart, and we're very proud in having you as the Premier of our province, this community of friends. And we know you're number one in our province. You know, definitely we've got the state president, but I'm talking about our province, because the state president of our country gave us the first community of friends. We celebrated the National Day of Portugal, which was in 1994, and it was done by him and Frank Mclarose. Before the state president left our province, the Premier then was Ben Ngubane. They did a function again for us, for the community of friends. So we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, once again, thank you very much, John. I must also say, I think in the chairperson of the community of friends, you've got a very strong bridge maker who creates relationships across different communities. I don't know if we should be giving you a similar certificate for the work you do. I must say, you know, you will find John all over. Down in the valley, Tanzania is out there, the other valley goes all over on issues of community safety and on issues of supporting communities. Is a very, you know, passionate about community work. So in receiving this, we want to appreciate the work that you have done yourself. Thank you very much. Muito obrigado.
I want to take this opportunity again and thanking everybody for spending this special occasion with us. We really appreciate it. And I know the Deputy Consul, Paulo from Angola, joined us late, but we're very honored to have you. Thank you very much. The Deputy Consul of Angola. And we're going to have sweets, and let's enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm very pleased because one of the main things about South Africa is that we call it a rainbow nation. That means we've got people who have come from different histories, different backgrounds, different languages. It's very important to understand each other, because this new democracy is based on peace, on equality, on mutual understanding and respect and tolerance. And therefore, it's important for us to understand the different cultures, the different people that are part of South African community, because we are one nation.
And how you happy that they gave you a certificate and asked you to join the Amigos of the Community?
Indeed, I was very pleased with that. It's a singular honor on our side, because it basically means acceptance. We are part of the same community. That means for us, we should be able to sit together, work together, whatever we want to do to build our country, we are holding our hands, and it's about partnership, and that's why I'm very happy with it.
Mr. De Jesus, he asked you for a favor for the statue of Vasco da Gama. What do you think about that?
I'm very, very pleased, because we have the name Natal. Part of our province name is a part of our heritage. It's Vasco da Gama came here once, he looked at the place, he gave us a name and never settled. Now we don't have anything about about him, about any record, and so what we want to do is to be able to help the Portuguese community to put up the statue, so that there's always some reference point. If you want to know what proves our Portuguese connection in this country, that will be one of the symbols. We've also got a clock, which was Vasco da Gama's clock, which is in Durban, a municipality. So this is the second thing we're going to be putting up, and I think it's going to be very good for us to be able to point for generations that will come. They will be saying, how did we build the Rainbow Nation? Then we'll tell them about how a sailor came about and looked at the place, gave it a name, and went past, and then the generations of communities that came later kept the name, and that's part of binding our nation together. And so we're very pleased with that, and we're going to be working with them to put up the statue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Premier.
Thank you.
I'm really excited that the Portuguese community has formed partnership with the police in this province of KwaZulu-Natal in fighting against crime. One of the Portuguese members is actually the member of the provincial board of the CPF, which is Mr. John De Jesus. He has initiated a number of programs and projects within the province and also within this policing precinct of Pietermaritzburg in assisting the community to be able to fight crime. We as the police really want to appreciate the contribution that has been done by the Portuguese community, of course under the leadership of Mr. John De Jesus, making sure that he assists the police, he works in partnership with us, and he also working in partnership with the Department of Community Safety and Liaison. I just hope that also as a business person, because not only is he Portuguese, but he's also a business person, he has actually made a contribution, in terms of, business, being accessible, in terms of making some few donations, as far as crime is concerned, so that some of the community members are able to access certain materials and fight against crime. I will want to urge, other communities, particularly in business, the Portuguese in the province, the Portuguese in the country, and everywhere else to take the example that Mr. De Jesus has done, learn from him and work with the police in fight against crime.
Thank you very much. Sr. João, depois de 10 anos de ter fundado os Amigos da Comunidade, como é que se sente hoje?
Sinto-me muito contente ter a comunidade da província toda junto com o nosso governo da nossa província, muito contente.
Quando organizou a festa de hoje, já sabia que o Premier também fazia anos?
Sabia, por causa eu é que fui a pessoa, desde que a gente ia se convidar ele, com um membro da nossa, dos Amigos da Comunidade, para vir celebrar o nosso aniversário dos Amigos da Comunidade e também da mesma altura para celebrar os anos dele.
Os Amigos da Comunidade, o que é que gostaria que mais acontecesse com este grupo?
A gente gostava-se de ter mais envolvido com a nossa comunidade para a província inteira, a África do Sul. Eu acho que é muito, muito importante, e com o governo do dia.
Como é que o Sr. João vê que os Amigos da Comunidade podem ajudar, portanto, o governo?
Os Amigos da Comunidade ajudam o governo por causa de trazendo o governo para ter reuniões com nós, para ter um almoço com nós, automaticamente vai saber quais os problemas que os portugueses têm da África do Sul e vai tentar ajudar a gente.
Sobre a estátua de Vasco da Gama, Porquê que foi o João que pediu o prémio? Como é que aconteceu isso?
Eu pedi o prémio por causa sabia muito bem que o prémio sempre teve uma relação muito boa com a comunidade portuguesa e o nosso governo também, o Jacob Zuma, sempre esteve perto da nossa comunidade portuguesa e foi porque que pedi, por favor, que ele podia pôr a estátua do Vasco da Gama, que é uma coisa que todos os portugueses gostavam de ver, pelo menos do Beachfront novo.
Sr. João, muito obrigado.
Prazer.